Hello, hello. Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to Closing Playbook for Friday, September 5th. Hello, Andy. Hey, Patrick. All right. We're going to get into some pre show content so you know what's coming up, and then we will get into the show. If this is your first Closing Playbook, a special welcome to you. Closing Playbook is a free daily webinar starring Graham Linman and Nathan Tucci that provides a fast paced end of day trading session as well as some daily recap, next day planning, in this case for Monday, trading concepts, and occasionally a special guest like we will have today. When you get to the screen to join the webinar, don't click on the login link. You just need to type in your display name so that we know how to refer to you in the chat and click join. You don't actually need to log in. A few pointers on using the interface. In the top left, there is the hamburger icon, which is the three lines. If you click that, it will reduce the width of the green column on the left, giving you a little more room for the presentation. In the bottom left corner of the presentation is a speaker icon. This is your mute and unmute button. So if you can see us but not hear us, double check, make sure you haven't accidentally muted the presentation. In the bottom right corner are two icons to control the size of the display, or the presentation rather. The double arrow icon will bring the presentation full screen. It'll cover up the announcements and the chat, but it'll give you the best view of what's being shared on the screen share. And the icon to the left of that is the picture in a picture button that will shrink the presentation into a floating window to allow you to do other things in the background, like flip over to your brokerage account or something like that. However, the picture in a picture is browser and device dependent, so it may not be available on the combination of things that you are using. If you would like to send a message to Graham, Nathan, or me and don't want to put it in the general chat, you can click on any of our messages in the general chat and then click on the double speech bubble icon that you see on the slide there to private message us. When you do that, only the person that you clicked on will be able to see it. We have a brand new, as of last week anyway, replay page. So if you haven't seen it or if you're looking for any of the recent replays, you can go to this link, marketspg.com/nmc-replays, and you will see our library of replays. Right now, it goes back to mid-August, and it will keep growing as we move forward. So it'll be from mid-August on. And if you want to see anything older than mid-August, you need to go to the third link on this list of helpful links underneath the presentation. The third link is the YouTube link. Actually, it says at Financial Wars. It should say at New Money Crew. I need to update that slide. It should be youtube.com/at New Money Crew. I will update that. Anyhow, the first link on there is the link you should be using to get into this room for opening and closing playbook. If you use NMC-Live, that will bring you to the live event. And the second link is the one we just looked at a minute ago, the new replays page. The third link, which is correct in the announcements, just not on the slide, is the link to the YouTube channel. If you haven't signed up for the New Money Crew daily scan emails, you should do that. It is free, and you'll get an email from the team every day with useful information and tickers to watch. We also have the Telegram channel for Graham and for Nate. They each have their own. If you are in any of their programs, you very much should be in their Telegram channel. If you're not familiar with Telegram, it's just a messaging app that you can install on your computer, tablet, or phone that will get you all the updates about stock trade alerts, about upcoming events starting now, just general market outlook, and things like that. So, really handy to have. Get on Telegram and get into their channels. The link after that is another thing you should have. It's the $1 Playbook VIP membership. Be the best dollar you ever spent. It'll get you into the members area for the opening and closing playbook sessions. It has tutorials, training, online calculators, helpful links, all kinds of stuff in there. And then the last four links are just going to apply to some of you, not others. How to paper trade is a guide on trading in your broker account without using real money so you can practice. Guide to level 2 options is actually a guide to all the levels of options and how to get those permissions in your account. The one-click trading walkthrough is a walkthrough of our members area known as one-click trading. And the last link there is a video about our customer service live, which if you're not familiar with it, it is an amazing service. We offer it for members of all of our programs. And if you're a member already and not taking advantage of it, you're missing out on some valuable content. They are there 3 hours a day, 5 days a week, 10 a.m. to 1 p.m. Eastern time every trading day. And they're doing constant demonstrations, answering questions, all kinds of stuff. You can learn things that you may not even have thought to ask, get introduced to other programs and other trading tools, and learn how to do all kinds of stuff in the members area, in your brokerage account, and all that kind of stuff. Coming up today in Closing Playbook, we're going to review our Shotgun Thursday trades from yesterday and see how those turned out. And we have a special guest. Alex Reed will be here to show us how he uses 18 different variables to draw what he calls a momentum wave that tells him when to get in and out of trades. So that is pretty different and pretty cool. So he will be here to join our session. And with that, I think I see Nathan.
Well, hello. Happy Friday afternoon. I can't believe we're here already, as I say every time I get to the end of the week. But it is great to see you and great to see everyone. Guys, I just have to tell you, I am working on the craziest thing right now. Dave, what I am doing, which you will find probably humorous because you know of my tech capabilities, is I am trying to build this bot using Python to automatically place orders for me into a brokerage account. And so me and ChatGPT and Claude are going down just the adventure of a lifetime. I've been on this for like 3 weeks, but I'm really getting. It actually placed a trade today, so that was
wow.
The rubber's meeting the road. Where I look, because you follow okay, do this, check error code, and now at this point, I'm used to logging back into the broker, for the 187th time and seeing nothing in there. And so I logged in. I'm like, oh my goodness, there's a live trade that I didn't place in my brokerage account. Now, it did do it for the wrong expiration date, so there's that. But we are making progress.
Hopefully, it was for roughly the right amount and not some extraordinary amount of money that you didn't mean to spend.
No, I'm filing bankruptcy as soon as we're done here. No, it was the idea of the testing one contract was successful. So that's the
awesome.
That's the good news. But
awesome.
So as Dave said, I am going to start. We'll take a look at our trades from yesterday, from Shotgun Thursday. So I think Alex is here. Let me add him to the mix. Hey, Alex, how are you?
What's up? I didn't know if I was supposed to come on later or right now.
Well, I figured I'd let you sneak on now. Alex, you probably haven't seen this, but we do this thing on Closing Playbook called Shotgun Thursday. And that's where we just pretty much throw a whole bunch of spaghetti at the wall on one-day expirations and see what we hit and what we don't hit for the following day. So yesterday, our stocks that we took were NVIDIA, JPM, GEV, Google, GLD, Rocket Mortgage, and IBIT. So as you guys can see, we are, just slightly over break even, I guess. $91 over break even on our little one contract, two contract trade. So I guess I'll take it with the SPY being negative across the board. Now, obviously, I can totally blame Graham for the GEV pick that we're down $96 on. He's not here as well.
Yeah, but GEV and CEG, they're both similar companies are selling off hard today.
Yeah, and my CCJ is not doing much better. But what was I going to say? Oh, I got to give JD a lot of credit. How many of you guys were here in yesterday's Closing Playbook? Because yesterday we had Closing Playbook, and got to give JD credit. He said, well, hey, I expect a big pop in the morning and then a big sell-off. And, couldn't have nailed it much much better than that. The Qs did just turn green again, though, so we got a little bit of life. They're about 0.03% up now, but the SPY down about 0.4%. So it is exactly what JD said. We got a big rip up. Our gold trade was probably the best of the bunch. Bitcoin as well. So we locked in. You can see these are not moving because they hit the target. These ones are not really moving either because they're down 100% and they're going to be full losers. But hey, $91 on the day on our little 1 or 2 contracts. And that is where we ended up. Rocket opened up massively. So we could have got probably a little more juice on that one. Jimmy said Rocket was the only one he took. What's that?
Those mortgage rates are coming down.
Yeah, they liked that bad news, good news situation this morning.
Yeah.
The whole market liked it for about 20 minutes. But Jimmy said Rocket was the only one he took and he hit. So good job there. Okay, so the next thing we're going to do, we're going to have Alex walk us through what he's been doing a little bit more. I don't know if you guys have seen some of the stuff. He has a couple tools that he's built, and then he also has an active strategy, on kind of his cream of the crop that he actually takes, because obviously you guys know, like I have the income machine. It could take 5,000 trades a month with it, but I only take a handful of them. He does the same thing. He's been on a pretty awesome hot streak with those. And then he's also been working on some other strategies. Alex, is the one you're going to walk through more of an options flow trade that you took?
Well, it's both. I'm going to show you
right.
one or two tools I like to trade with, actually.
All right. Well, I'll hand it over and let you walk through that. Have you figured out how to share your screen on this new tool yet?
I think so. Let me see. Because I'll figure it out. Here you go. Ready? I will go share and I will. How do I? Let's see. Boom. All right. Let me see if that works. You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to do something that's never been done before. I'm going to turn this onto my second monitor. I'm going to make this on my first monitor. And I'm going to go to the beginning of this stellar presentation that I got prepared for y'all. And I'm going to share my screen now. And I think this should work.
We're on the edge of our seats.
I'm used to stupid Zoom.
Yeah, it's a little bit of a learning curve to get it rolling, but I see. There we go.
All right. You see it.
Wow. I'm captivated already.
Why I love yoga pants. My number one indicator, and how to make 100% profit in 30 minutes. Now
we gotta wait 30 minutes.
Only I know it's slow, but trust me, the payoff's worth it. So now, like I mentioned, there's really only 2 things I use to trade with. Now, the first one is actually my custom coded unusual options scanner. I love this thing. We've been using it. I'll tell you more about it in a second. And I also use moving averages a lot. So I'm going to show you how, and this is why I say I love yoga pants, because if anybody's ever heard of Lululemon, the top, used to be the top yoga pants manufacturer in the world. They're not doing so hot. But I used both my scanner and moving averages to make 100% winner on Lulu today. And my Telegram subscribers send it to them for free. Like I do all of these trades for free. So if you do want similar ones, sign up for that. We can drop the link in the chat. So this is what the scanner looks like. Builds a little iPhone app, unusual options flow. And yesterday, after market close, Lululemon was reporting earnings. Now, what I'm looking for is unusual options activity to the top, to the upside, or to the downside, puts or calls. There was a lot. There's a call here. This is just a screen cap. There was actually one call, but there were 6 big put orders coming in yesterday. Now, why did I not trade it yesterday? Why was this a 30-minute trade today? Well, the answer is simple. Earnings, right? Earnings. I did not want to trade it because of IV Crush. and also earnings, right? Maybe Lululemon would outperform. They've been pretty beaten down this year. I didn't know. But I did know that if the setup was still there in the morning, I would have plenty of chance to take advantage of it. So I stopped from trading it until this AM. Now, when I opened up this scanner this morning, Lulu was down 20% after that, right? But I still saw the puts coming in on Lulu. Actually, I saw the same contract and expiry puts, additional ones coming in this morning. So I knew that I wanted to trade this. I knew that this was still good. The earnings call for Lulu was abysmal. They were big, like I think 2014, 2012. They really took over with the athleisure, but now there's a lot of competition. They're being hurt by tariffs and also just flagging sales. Gen Z is not super into the skin tight yoga pants, the microplastics leaching into their body, and all that. They won't.
Is that what they said on the? Is that what they said on the earnings call? Hey, we got a lot of leaching going on.
They're trying to turn back the leaching a little bit.
Yeah.
But it's not happening yet. So, and they were trying to break into international markets, but they're trying to break into China. China has Shine and Temu. Over here in America, we have Alo and Fabletics. So there's just a lot of competition now. Lulu used to be the number one, but they're not even close. Not only are they not only the only yoga pant provider, but they are not even the best. So, like I said, I knew that I wanted to trade this, but I didn't know where to enter. Now it's sold off 20%, right? And I found like after earnings, usually there's a little bit of a retracement. So what I did, right? This is where the moving averages come in. Because when do I enter this? Because if I had opened it at 9:31 right here, this is the 3-minute chart, so 9:31, 9:33, and I took that put, I would be down pretty bad, right? But like I said, it recovered in the first 30 minutes. But then look what happened. Okay, so these are moving averages. What you see on the screen are moving averages, and at roughly 10:09. It bounced off the 9 EMA, right? I used the EMAs. So you see, I saw this, right? I saw this, and I knew that was my time to strike. So I sent an alert out almost immediately as soon as I could get it typed with my fat fingers. And I said, earnings IB crush out of the way. Lulu is definitely not worth $175. So I said, I'm taking a position. I laid out the strike contract and the entry limits. And 30 minutes later, voila, 100% winner. And we can go back and you can see how this entire time, once it bounced off the EMA, so I had the initial trade thesis created by my unusual option scanner, but once it bounced off of that EMA, I just watched it and tracked it and watched as it bounced and watched as it bounced, watched as it bounced, watched as it bounced. And basically right down here is when we got out. And the rest of the day, it's recovered a bit, but nothing's really happened. It kind of briefly touched, but that trade, all I was watching was that it was bouncing off of the EMA. So like I said, EMAs are really all I use for trading.
And is that a pretty typical situation for you where you'll have a thesis, you'll have an idea, you'll kind of watch? Because this is actually fascinating to me. I don't trade this way at all. I don't really trade, especially intraday, looking at, bounce, move, pattern here. I'm either incredibly mechanical, just, hey, I think the math lines up this way. Or I have some kind of blend of, like a weekly breakout and, a fundamental view on a stock. But is this kind of typical for you, like where you'll have a view informed by something like unusual options, and then you just watch it play in real time off, a set of moving? I know you have the wave indicator. We can talk about that in a minute, but
yeah, we will.
But in general, you're letting price come to you or go to a certain place, or like, how does that actually work? What is your mind doing as a stock is moving around?
Yeah. So sometimes I use just the wave indicator to me, every indicator is you need to stack observation points. So I think why I like trading the unusual flow so much is that the unusual flow, right, are institutions, high frequency traders, and hedge funds. They're doing basically ninja orders, right? I call this like I'm working like ninja scanner, right? They're basically doing these ninja orders underneath the market, and you're not supposed to be able to see them. That's why they're being split up. So they're making these moves in the shadows, and what you're trying to do is you're trying to see those. Now, just because you see this happening, that's not really a necessary 100% valid sign that the stock is going to either go up to the call strikes that you're seeing or to the put strikes that you're seeing, go down to the put strikes. So that's why when you have multiple, like you see what's going on under the surface, but then you look at it on a chart and you want to see that bounce. You want to see some confirmation, just another signal confirmation before you get in. I found that really improves my win rate when I have, it's not like combining a moving average and then an Arun indicator or a moving average and a MACD, because those are basically both momentum filters, right? But you're using moving averages, which can be used as stand-ins for, well, I'll talk about that in a second, but for a lot of different things: momentum, profit targets, resistance and support lines. And then you're also seeing what smart money is doing. So you stack those two sort of individualized signals on top of each other, and I think it's a really strong way to trade. It's been working out good for the Telegram group. So if anybody here is like, if your chart is lit up like a Christmas tree, you have MACD, you got RSI, you got moving averages, even you got everything under the sun on that chart, and you can't even see the price action because of it. Well, I just want to give you a challenge. Remove everything and just accept the moving averages. Okay. Try that. Take everything off of your chart except the moving averages. I use basically 4 of them: 9, 20, 50, and 200, and they're all the EMAs. I find those are more responsive than the simple EMAs, which are the SMAs. But just try it. And I think that actually the more simple you can get when you have your chart set up, I think it's really it's better because you're not thinking so much. If you have too much stuff, sometimes there's contradictory signals, and you'll either overthink a trade or you won't know when to get out, right? Simplifying is usually better. And I kind of alluded to this, but so why do I like moving averages versus like, why wouldn't I just want to use RSI? Why wouldn't I want to just use, MACD? Because the real reason is moving averages provide literally everything you need to trade. You basically, if you think about a moving average, right? If you look back here, these moving averages, they look like lines. They're just like, there's like drawings, like a kid drew them. But each of these moving averages is a stand-in for a numerical value, right? And this might be pretty basic, but I think it always bears to be said that moving averages are composed of numerical values that are inputted into a computer, into an algo, right? And so the algos, the fast, smart, big money, uses moving averages, right? Because you have to put these discrete numerical values into a computer system to figure out when to buy, when to sell, when to unload a position, when to load up on a position. So they use these. These are just, I know they look like they're sloped lines, they're curved lines, but they're a combination of all these numerical values that are being inputted into the algos to tell them when to trade, what to trade, and how to trade it. So they provide support. They provide resistance. And, if you're going long, not as much on this example for like the 3-minute chart, but if you're going, let's say a stock was on the weekly chart, a stock was, $5 below the 200, right? The 200, right? Which means it's like the longer term moving average is this blue line up here. And you were going to go long on that stock. Well, that's and you're saying, okay, well, when will my investment thesis, if I think it's going to go long, when can I start either taking profit or adding to it? Well, right here is where it gives you your 200 moving average. 200 is a key trend line. So if it dips below it, it's usually setting up for sort of a bear trend, right? A stock is. And if it goes above it, that's usually a very bullish sign. So you can use these lines to establish support, right? If it's bouncing off, if it's bouncing, above, but off of this 9, that's a bullish sign. If it's bouncing off of the 50, that's a bullish sign. It's also establishes resistance. Like just like on Lulu today, right? It bounced off the 9 EMA. That was a clear resistance line. Now, even as price dipped lower, that resistance line moved lower with the price, and it still refused to bounce over it for the length and the duration of the trade we took on Lulu. Does that make sense to everyone? I can't see anybody's comments. If you have any questions, I guess if anybody's.
I think it'll probably be about 10 seconds before they come through anyway, because there's like a little bit of delay. But let me interrupt by saying I totally forgot to give out my trade again, and so I'm doing that right now. I've now done this like 3 different sessions where I hand it over and then forget to actually put the trade. But I am typing in the chat for everyone here.
Yeah, they're saying it is making sense, Alex. And there were just a couple of questions about, looking at different, times. Looking, changing the chart, looking at different times, and how that affects how it approaches those EMAs.
Yeah, absolutely. So I mean, you can, and the cool thing about the EMAs, pretty much any chart indicator, is that it's fractal. So you go up, the same principles apply for the monthly, and it really depends on what you're doing. If you're day trading, you don't want to use a weekly chart because it's not going to tell you anything, right? You want to use a 3-minute, a 1-minute, or 5-minute chart, or some variation of those, or combination of those rather. But you can do this for the weekly, right? Longer term, if you're want to figure out a buy and hold stock that's beaten down, right? You can use moving averages when if you're on the monthly chart and the 9 period crosses over the 20, which tends to be, by the way, the 9 crossing over the 20 tends to be, some people use 8 and 21. I like 9 and 20. They're basically the same thing. When those cross over, that's a bullish crossover. So that typically means that the stock is going to go into a bullish trend. When they cross under, so for instance, the 9, the shorter period crosses under the 20, that usually means the stock is in a bearish trend. So you want to, either whatever you want to do, get out or take a put or whatever. But you can do this for weeklies, monthlies. It doesn't matter. Whatever your strategy is, if you're swing trading, it's probably going to be on the daily chart, right? Which is what mostly what I do. When I do, well, honestly, I'm on the daily. I'm on the intraday and the daily chart. So 3-minute charts usually, or daily charts, because I use the 3-minute and 5-minute to sort of corroborate, the unusual options flows that we get.
And you're using the 9, the 20, the 50, and the 200.
Yeah, EMA. I would also recommend EMA because it's a little better, I think, than the SMAs.
Can you describe the difference for everybody?
So EMAs. Basically they average out the moves. It's a little smoother of a line, so it gives less false signals. SMAs are a little more volatile, so they don't necessarily, I don't think, have as much predictive value.
And it's just a difference in how the moving average is calculated, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Awesome.
By the way, guys, I did post that trade. Sorry, I meant to post that earlier. It's a little 2-way option, so it's unfortunately, if you're new, this is probably the most complex trade you're ever going to get in the closing playbook. So I apologize. If you're new, it'd be a great one to take some more time to walk through. But for now, just take it and digest it. This is the idea that we're going to play because there's lots to happen now. And I think the market has to digest whether today was semi-positive for the short term or totally negative or somewhere in between. I think you're going to have some repricing over the weekend. And basically, you need the cues to move a very small amount in order to get a win on either side. You have a bullish debit spread, you have a bearish debit spread, you combine them together, and that's why I call it a 2-way trade. It can win in either direction by combining those two trades. You need to go above 577. What's that, like a 0.2% move right now, or below 573? That's like a 0.4% move. Don't quote me, but off the top of my head. So you need a relatively small move in the Qs, and I think this weekend we're likely to get some volatility just because of all the digestion that has to happen here.
Absolutely. Did you see the KView news that KenView that RFK Jr. Said Tylenol during pregnancy can cause autism? That thing sold off like 10% in 5 minutes. We had like a peak gain of like 100%. We just saw like this put I sent out. We got like a 100% on that in like 10 minutes maybe. I just the reason I'm asking is because I got this message from Faith saying she made about $350 from that.
No, that's awesome. I didn't even see that news, but it's not super shocking though, because I felt like it's only a matter of time before we're going to start getting more and more of those.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, the healthcare sector in general I think is going to be actually quite a wild ride for some time to come.
Nate, they're entering that as 2 vertical spreads, right?
2 verticals that you put together in one ticket. Most brokers will call it an iron condor. They might call it a reverse iron condor. Leave it to them to have different names for different things. But yes, that is the 2 spreads together. Qs are back to the red, by the way. I'm just watching them float back and forth, seeing if they want to finish positive or negative on the day.
Well, what's interesting is we were talking about this earlier in profit panel. The Qs, so the sell-off, right? A SPY jumped up, sold off. Qs did not reach all-time highs. So just because of that, I mean, SPY, there's no way SPY can hit all-time highs without the Qs right now in the current market structure. It's just not going to happen. So, watch the Qs. If SPY's going up, you want the Qs to be sort of following track. And if they're not, probably means something bad is on the horizon that day.
Well, I think the other thing is that we might get a little more rotational action here. It'll be interesting to see because over the last month we've really flipped. We've really flipped on the Qs. Obviously, we expect to lead in any legitimate bullish market, and then all of a sudden there's kind of been this quiet rotation with the SPY being at all-time highs. With small caps, which are now small caps still up 0.4% today, which is shocking to me, but not shocking in the sense that good news, bad news, they're expecting the rate cuts, but just shocking to me that they're not actually filling some of the overperformance for the last little while. And so I'm really interested to see, if we get a real rotation. I don't think we will, because everyone knows that I think we're going to kind of get the melt up scenario before anything, a real correction were to actually happen. But if you start seeing energy and utilities and basic materials really pick up, we could see some of that because, we saw like the equal weighted S&P cross over the regular S&P, which when's the last time you saw that happen? So it'll be interesting to see, but I would tend to agree. I think we're either, have a kind of a sell-off and a corrective moment here, or we're going to get, a little squeeze up. We're going to get new all-time highs. And if we get new all-time highs, I think the Qs are going to absolutely cook because they're going to be in catch-up mode to the SPY.
Oh yeah, no, I totally agree. I think what is it, like a bull market's like 4 years on average. We've been 2.5 years into this one, so got like a year and a half, and it kind of lines up with midterms as well. So I think that if SPY can just break out of this stupid range and actually hold it, we're going to go higher for sure. I'm definitely in the same camp as you. Like, I think that we have a lot more room to run until it shifts. Maybe we hit a bear market. I mean, we could probably have some corrections around 5%, but it's going to be overall trending up.
Yeah, Graham's more bearish, I think, than I am, but I think even he, with wanting to see a cool off and thinking we might even have a 5% cool off, thinks that's all it would be, and then we get another rip before anything more seriously corrective were to happen. So I don't know. We'll see. The market's been incredibly resilient. It's been the best buy the dip market in 20 years after red days, and so normally when that happens, it goes on longer than people think it can happen. They keep thinking, oh, it can't keep happening, and they're right, but it usually happens longer than people realize that it can. And so we'll see. Push comes to shove here over the next couple weeks, I think, as we're kind of floating and having to deal with some of the news that the jobs are going down. The market is having to price this in. Is it medium-term positive because of rate cut potential, or is it actually just negative all the way around? And does that give some fuel to the fire? But of course, the irony with all of this is, and I keep saying this, economically, I don't think the United States is super healthy. I think a lot of the indicators for the average person are quite negative, but companies are making record earnings. So if you think that Apple or Microsoft are making record earnings now. Just wait until the next generation of AI where they're able to continue optimizing. It's going to, likely mean more negative news for the average person as more layoffs and things happen. But the stock market's not attached to, your household income. It's attached to how much money Microsoft is making. So I think we could see continued divergence there, and that, that might be the melt up in and of itself.
Yeah, totally. I mean, we have like short-term chaos until the November rate cut decision, and then like over the next, it will be fascinating to see. I mean, I don't know where you stand on AI, but I think that I use it every day. Like I used it to help me code this unusual option scanner. I saw that you were using it to help you code with Claude, using Claude. I started using it in 2022, I think, when it came out, either 2022 or early 23, whenever it sort of launched. And it's come a long way since. It's pretty crazy how far it's come since then.
It's unbelievable how far, for sure. Well, speaking of what you coded up, you want to show people the full indicator that you coded up to do exactly what you're talking about, but in real time, and be as reactive as possible for some of those kind of momentum windows.
Absolutely. So I've been told, I talked about moving averages, right? I love moving averages. So I told you how they can basically provide everything you need for a trade. They can provide entry points, resistance, support lines, and even profit targets, which are the 4 basic criteria that you should be looking for whenever you enter a trade. I love them so much, I created a special indicator. I use this every day, actually. So I want to look at sound real before we get to. I'm going to show you how it works because it's really cool. But just to show you how it like looks in real life. So we used, again, this was a perfect example of how I use corroborating factors to make, and that's the sound of the market closing.
Yep, there it is.
So we closed this out. We opened it up yesterday. We closed it out for a 28% winner today. Again, free in my Telegram. If you want to get these trade alerts, sign up, send them out for free. We usually do at least one a day. Sometimes I think we had 3 trades today. And they were all winners. So it was a very good day. It was a good day to close out the week. But let me show you how it looks on sound, just so you can see it. So again, you should see the sound chart here. I use this. So yesterday, again, I saw the call volume. This was calls, right? The Lulus were puts. I saw call volume coming in on sound. I sent out the alert to my Telegram. Now, what was cool about this one is I used this little wave. I call this the wave indicator. I used it for corroborating. And you can see, just like I said, it provides entry points. This told me, not only was I seeing that call volume on the scanner, but I also saw this signal get printed out using this indicator on my trading view chart, set a call, and which means that it's moving up, probably, likely, hopefully. But it did move up. It moved up today, and we closed out, this morning for like 28%. So this combines, right, moving averages plus a little bit of math, right? So it's not just moving averages. Anyone could do that. But I actually added a little bit of a secret sauce to it that allows me to print out exactly what our profit targets are and determine when is the optimal time, right, when these calls or put signals get printed.
Alex, do you want to pop your Telegram link in there for anyone who doesn't have that?
Yes. Dave, can you?
Slack it to me.
Okay. Let me see if I can.
Well, I can get it.
Can you get it? I always forget how to find.
I used to have a doc with everyone's listed.
I'll just get it.
Okay, thank you. Thanks, man. I always forget how to do it.
That's why Dave makes the big bucks here.
I know. He's the hero we deserve. So it's pretty cool. And should I get into like how I created this, like why it works, and show you some of the data on this, and because I mean this is one trade, but I want to show people like how well this works, and
that would be awesome.
What the secret sauce was. All right, well, stop sharing for a minute. Let me pull this up. All right, so before we get into this, so you're gonna see some testimonials. They're from my very best students from this and other services. Profits and performance shown are not typical to any one individual subscriber. We make no future earnings claims, and you may lose money. So we were building this, right? We were designing it, we were testing it out, right? So these what you see, right, are from those tested results in order to demonstrate the potential of the system. We have plenty of live trades too. I'm going to show you as well from March 2024 through January 2025. While we were developing this, we saw an 87% win rate on options with an average return, including winners and losers, of 54% on an average 8-day hold time in a model portfolio. We can't guarantee specific future results. There's always a high degree of risk involved in trading. So please do see our terms on the WealthPin homepage for más información. Unless you realize there's going to be losers in trading, there's no black box miracle system that prints out winning trades automatically. Our purpose of our work is to help give traders an edge in the markets. We can't handle a losing trade. You shouldn't be trading with real money. There's no shame in paper trading to start out. Losses in trade or small lot trading. Losses in trading have occurred and will occur in the future. So if you're just tuning in, I guess my name's Alex Reed. Good to meet you all again for the second time. What I want to show you today is a simple indicator that anyone can plug into their trading platform with just one click. So it takes about 30 seconds to set up, but afterwards, you'll be able to spot what it sees as a stream of high probability trade setups, each with the power to deliver 20%, 50%, or even 387% options winners in an average time of just 8 days if everything goes right. We just closed out a trade on LMT, Lockheed Martin. It took about 4 days, and it was a 31% winner. At the end of this, I'm going to give you a free trade that I just found by using this tool. So I call this the wave indicator because it allows us to target profits on the way up, like a 53% gain on Chewy in 5 days, and on the way down, like a 59% gain on Meta in 2 days. So just like a wave, right? It goes up and it goes down. So if you're tired of opening your trades only to find that the price fizzles or maybe even goes the opposite direction of what you wanted, you're not alone. That's why I created this wave indicator. Because with just 167 lines of code, this indicator can isolate the highest momentum opportunities in the market. And you don't have to trade complicated spreads like iron condors, butterflies, or anything else like that. As long as you can read 2 words, put in call, which I'm pretty sure if you're here, you're able to do that. You can start using the wave indicator today and to find really, really awesome trade setups, like what could have happened on Target back on October 11th. So that was a Friday, and the wave indicator printed out a call signal. You see it right there. That's not all. So that dotted line you see circled in red, that's the profit target. That's why this indicator is so good, because it shows you the exact option strike price you'll want to trade. So all a trader would have had to do is select the correct strike price indicated by that profit target line. And guess what would have happened next? 4 days later, October 15th, the stock hit our 20% target, just touched that profit target line. And that options trade would be sitting pretty on a 20% gain. Now, I'm going to show you how I figure out, like I said, some magic juice, some secret sauce. I'm going to show you how I figure out that profit target in a second. But first, I want you to see this. So after an opportunity to collect a 20% gain on target, literally the next week, the wave indicator lit up again. Now, this is the same ticker, target again, but this time it was a put. Now, all someone had to do was open a put option, waited 48 short hours, and then once target's price hit the line, walked away with a 23% gain. You probably understand why I call this a wave indicator, right? Because we ride the waves up and down and up and down. We're not playing just one direction with this, up and down, up and down. We are direction agnostic. Now, if someone had put $1,000 down into those 2 trades, which is the starting stake, all of my examples will be based off today. They could have walked away with 460 total profits in less than a couple weeks. But forget about target. You can use this and pick and choose whichever ticker you want to trade, and the wave indicator can help you figure out when to trade it. Maybe you like Tesla. Well, on November 7th, you would have seen a call signal get printed out on Tesla's chart, just like you see here, along with the exact profit target. So all a trader had to do is open the call option closest to that strike price. And bam. 1 day later, a 79% gain as Tesla jumped. So with $1,000, that would have been $790 profit. And then a month and a half after that, on December 30th, you would have seen a put signal pop up along with the profit target. Anyone could have walked away with a 49% gain the next week as it fell below that profit target, just like you see there. That's an extra $490 in the account. But let's zoom out to the 6-month chart. Forget about 2 trades. Between June and January, anyone could have ridden Tesla's waves and gotten in on a 59% gain, 143% gain. I joke there's never any such thing as losses. There's just negative gains. But a 43% loss on this one. But you would have made that up with a 63% gain, 28% gain, another 48% gain, and then a 42% loss. But making that up with a 79% gain and closing out this little run with a 49% winner. So 9 total trades using the waves, right? Now, as you can see there, not all the signals turned out to be winners. Nothing's perfect or guaranteed. But when people follow high momentum trade setups like the type this indicator can identify, they can dramatically improve their chances of winning. So over the course of these 9 trades on Tesla, winners and losers included, a trader could have collected a total of $4,225 in profit, which is pretty good. I don't know about you, but $4K in disposable income from one stock seems like a pretty good deal. For a lot of people out there, and we were talking about this, the numbers don't lie. We're paying at least 25% more for groceries than we were 4 years ago. Probably more. Honestly, it's more. Interest rates keep climbing, which, the cost of home ownership has gone up nearly 80% since 2020. People can't buy or sell their homes. This leaves them trapped, right? Want to move, they can't. Gas, energy, insurance are also taking massive bites out of everyone's monthly cash flow. It's gone so bad, more Americans than ever are paying their bills with the old credit card and defaulting at the highest rates since the global financial crisis. Now, I'm not here to tell you what to do. I can't do that. But I can say this, that any tool which gives people a shot at bringing in extra money is invaluable in times like these, which is why I think you're going to love the wave indicator. I'm going to tell you exactly how it works, but just so you know a little bit more about me first. This is my first session on opening Playbook. So again, my name's Alex. I was a self-made millionaire by the age of 30. I don't come from a rich family. I didn't go to Harvard. I did study econ in college, though. Turns out nobody cares about econ majors. The going grade for econ majors is not very high. My first job, who'd have thunk, right?
We care, Alex. We care.
Thank you, Dave. I got a job bagging groceries at Trader Joe's. So I was studying the unit economics of baked bean cans. All that is to say, I know firsthand how hard it is, to get started, with a career. But just because there's a goalie doesn't mean that you can't win, right? At a young age, since I was young, I was obsessed with building the American dream for myself. Didn't really care how hard it would be. But that means you have to go where the money is, right? So I eventually bluffed my way into a job at a billion-dollar financial research firm, which I'm not supposed to say the name of, but you've probably heard of it. And when I walked into that glass skyscraper for the first time, like you can imagine, I was just buried in grunt work. I was putting in 7 days a week for absolutely insane boss. But I did have my foot in the door. And even though I was working with difficult people, many of them were trading millionaires. And I got to learn everything about trading options to cryptocurrency to penny stocks to early stage biotechs. I got to train on the 25,000 a year Bloomberg terminal, which has basically every financial data point ever created since the pyramids. My job was to create trading algorithms and strategies that we would license to clients, and turned out I was pretty good at that. So I ended up quitting to go trade my own money and sell these strategies directly without a middleman. Now, over the years, built up over 140,000 people subscribe to my work. And some of my top subscribers have seen absolutely incredible results. I recommended ASTS Space Mobile at $7 a share before it soared to nearly $50 in a year for a 603% gain. I was early on AI. I recommended Palantir years ago, at 2023, maybe late 2022, $15 a share before it soared to 149 over 2 years and higher since then for an 895% gain. And one of my favorite trades was on nuclear reactor stock Oklo. We've heard of that one. So when I saw AI, I kind of divined that nuclear energy would be key to to powering it, right? It's an energy vampire. It needs tons of energy. Nuclear is the only one that can do it. So I recommended Oklo at $10 a share in October 2024 before it soared to over $60. And people who were subscribed to me then got a potential 496% gain. Ellen Z actually told us that she listened to me talk about Oklo, and she was up $28,000 in a couple of weeks. Now, 28 grand is really in just a couple of weeks. That's really exceptional result. There's been smaller winners along the way. There's been trades that haven't worked out. I'm not perfect. Nobody is, not even the old WB. But Ellen is one of my many top subscribers who have submitted some really, really awesome feedback. Ronald D said his goal was to make $2K a month, and he's off to a good start with a $200 win on his first trade. Kamar Z said he's using my tools to average 45% daily, scalping 3 to 4 trades. And Carol F says she uses what I teach with every trade and has a huge winning rate, $3,400 to $6,200 in one morning. I'm proud of the success I've had as my own investor, but it's comments like the ones you see below that make me know what I do here is worthwhile. Doug had a nice trade. Mark loves X pattern and wave trader. Linda Forehanger made $200 no work. Russ, talking about just everybody. I give people everything they need to become profitable. Becky made $480 one morning. Clyde made a 42% profit on Apple. DJ, he loves this. Stan loves this, even though he's just working it out to paper trade. And Adelaida got 110% profit overnight on NVIDIA. So I'm proud of all those. But here's the thing. All of those trade recommendations, all those strategies, all those winners, guess what? They all come down to one thing. The one major little known fact about trading. Now this might blow your mind, cause it to explode, because almost every new trader and even many experienced traders completely missed this very basic fact. Now, once you do understand it, though, it's going to be like unlocking a room with almost infinite profit possibilities. So, ready to see what it is. So, successful trading starts and ends with one word: momentum, right? All trading is momentum trading. It doesn't matter if you're using RSI, supply and demand zones, ascending triangles, or any of the other hundreds of setups, patterns, and indicators out there. Really, the only thing that matters is momentum. Is the stock going up? Is the stock going down? That's all momentum is. I know this, seems basic, but it should make sense. Without momentum, you wouldn't have charts on the screen, right? You wouldn't have candlesticks. It would just be black or white, depending on your color scheme. Momentum is what drives the rise and fall of every single ticker out there. If it's going up, you buy. If it's going down, you sell. I know that seems basic, but most people, and this is what I was talking about earlier, you're so busy, watching a bunch of different stuff, watching a bunch of lines on the screen, a bunch of different indicators, a bunch of RSI, MACD, all that stuff. They completely miss the forest for the trees. They don't focus on the number one most important thing, which is momentum. So that's where the wave indicator comes in. Now, this indicator combines not one, not two, but 18 different momentum variables. Each of them measures a unique momentum event. You can think of it kind of like a seismograph. It's a little device that measures earthquakes. We've all seen this in the movies, right? Dante's Peak with Pierce Brosnan in 1997. We all remember that. The needle moves up and moves down. But one little move is not going to matter because it doesn't mean anything is really coming. But when you have dozens of moves in quick succession, well, that means you better buckle up, which is the same principle behind the wave indicator. By stacking momentum signals one on top of the other, we're able to create a visual wave pattern on our chart. Now, this allows us to find the highest momentum trade entries, the moments when the price is set to really soar or fall dramatically, while at the same time filtering out the days when the price chops sideways and just doesn't give us any good action, because we don't want to trade those days. Now, let's take a look at this chart of HIMS back in September to show you what I mean. Look, September 13th to September 25th, almost, HIMS traded flat, nothing. However, underneath the surface, momentum had been building up on the stock. And on September 26th, according to my research, my wave indicator issued an alert. You can see it right there, call. Now, sure enough, immediately after that, the price action accelerated. HIMS popped nearly 12% in 2 days. which is pretty dang good. But had a trader been following along and entered their options trade when and at the strike price that my wave indicator said to, they could have walked away with a 61% gain instead. So a 61% gain versus a 12% gain, right? I know which one I'd take. That's an extra $610 in 48 hours. Now, the same thing happened on Square back in February 2024. For almost a month, the stock had been completely range-bound. The total moves were a couple cents in either direction. But then, again, momentum had been building up under the hood, and it suddenly exploded. My wave indicator issued a call alert. Over the next 9 days, Square pushed higher. Traders could have made an 86% gain as it jumped over that profit target line. So starting with the grand, that translates to $860 in profit. Now let's look at GE. Now, if you've been watching GE between July 26th and August 1st, it barely budged off the $170 price. There was nothing to indicate that would change either. There were no volume flows, not a lot of options activity, really a lot of nothing. However, again, there was enormous downward momentum building up this time. And on Friday, August 2nd, the dam burst. My wave indicator signaled a put, and had a trader bought a basic put option that Friday, by Monday, August 5th, they would have been sitting on a 17% gain, $170 profit. So just over those 3 trades, anyone could have used this indicator to make an extra $1,640, which is enough money to pay for a whole week of lift tickets for 2 at the gorgeous Taos Ski Resort and spend the days soaking up the vistas of New Mexico before relaxing in the hot tub. Maybe the snow is not your thing. Well, it's okay, because that money could also pay for a 4-night stay at Aruba's Ocean Villa Resort, where visitors can jump right off their patios into the crystal blue Caribbean waters. And if you're not interested in foreign travel, well, just the profit from those 3 trades, here you go, Nate, could pay for 3 full rounds of golf at Pebble Beach, where you could walk in the footsteps of the greatest golfers of all time.
Yeah, it's sad that it's only 3 rounds.
Right? And don't forget, look, all of that's only with the profits if you just traded 1 contract. If someone wanted to up the ante, they could have entered 5 contracts per trade and walked away with $8,200 profit. And if you do have a bigger account and you really want to increase the lots and trade 10 contracts, well, now you're looking at a grand total of $16,400. Now, look, not every trade the wave indicator finds is going to be a winner. There's going to be times when momentum fizzles and does the opposite of what we wanted. This is trading, right? It's risky, which is why, I always tell people, never risk more than you're willing to lose. But what makes the wave indicator so good for every striper trader, whether you're new or more experienced, is that it takes all the guesswork out of your trades. Not only does the wave indicator tell you exactly when to buy either a call or a put, but the profit target lines that get printed on each trade signal tell you the exact options strike price to buy. Now, here's the thing. I did have to do a little bit of math when I was coding this up. The hardest part was figuring out how much a stock was likely to rise or fall after the trade signal. A lot of the legwork was actually accomplished with the help of artificial intelligence, because we cranked through tens of thousands of data points trying to isolate the relationship between candle size on breakout, the slope of the moving average, the relationship of that slope to the other moving averages, and the differentials between closing price and opening price on the candlesticks compared to the past few periods. Now, after all that, we figured out this ratio between the size of the price action on the breakout versus the expected move. And we use that ratio to plot the profit target lines. Now, total profit potential of each trade will be higher or lower depending on this ratio. Let's take a look at this AVGO trade back on November 12th, right? There was downward momentum pushing the price down, and a put signal would have popped up on the chart. But as you can see, there really wasn't too much momentum behind the drop. So our profit target line would have only been about $2.50 away from our entry, which means the gain wouldn't have been huge, but had someone bought a put right around the strike price of the profit target line, they could have made a 17% gain in 2 days. That's $170 with the 1K stay, right? Not too bad at all. But sometimes the potential profit is much, much higher. For instance, on this Meta trade, now on December 2nd, a call signal would have popped up on the chart. This time, though, the momentum behind the move was much stronger, and the profit target line was nearly $50 higher than the trade entry price. It might seem crazy, Meta is really $50, but this is the beauty of it. It shows you what's going on under the surface. This meant higher profit potential, and sure enough, buying the correct call option on Meta would have handed out a massive 161% gain as Meta climbed every single dollar of that $50, and even more actually. That would have turned $1,000 into $2,610. And the best part about that, because there was so much momentum behind that trade, the whole thing only took 4 days to play out. That's the beauty of the wave indicator. It finds stocks that are on the move, and because of that, we're not forced to sit on our hands watching price action chop back and forth for months on end. We only get in when a ticker is set to deliver a quick move, which means any profits can come quick as well, like this trade on NVIDIA. On August 13th, our indicator would have printed out a call. 3 days later, anyone could have exited the trade for a 63% winner. Look at this trade on Apple. Buying a put when my indicator said so on October 23rd could have handed a trader a 66% gain just a week later. And then look at HD, Home Depot, back in December, using my wave indicator, could have let anyone grab a 91% winner in just 2 days. Now, again, this is not the perfect indicator. I'm not saying it is. This is trading, and even the best setups simply don't work out sometimes. It's just life, right? But you don't have to be the perfect trader to use this indicator. As long as you can follow 3 simple steps, you can start using it to trade today, right now. Step 1 is wait for a signal to appear on the chart. Step 2, you buy the 30-day out option, 30 days to expiration option at the strike price indicated. Step 3, you sell when the stock hits the profit target line. So it's no more complicated than 1, 2, 3. And I really do believe this indicator has the potential to dramatically improve anyone's win rate. Because as we were testing it, we ran it through dozens of tickers over even more time frames, tons of data, 47 trade signals, 27 different tickers, over a year of data. And my wave indicator found winning trades 87% of the time. And if someone had put 1,000 down into each of the trades during the testing period, including winners, including losers, they could have walked away with $25,415 in total profit. And if someone had wanted to wager a bit more per trade and put $2,500 down into each position, well, they could have walked away with $63,538. And for the larger account traders who really wanted to cook and who had the capital to put $5,000 into each trade, well, they could have made some real money, $127,000 total profits. Now, don't know what you like to spend your free time doing, but that amount of money would have been enough to spend months in Mexico City, touring some of the new world's oldest churches, going to shows, or enjoying the world-class food. And coming back and still having plenty left over to top off the 401k, add to your grandkids' college fund, or get started on that new patio. But it gets even better, which is why I saved this part for last, because in my opinion, this is what ratchets up the power of the wave indicator even more. Now, if you've been paying attention, you've noticed that the indicator only finds high momentum setups. Now, you should always have an exit plan when it comes to trading, which is why we use the profit target line, which is so cool because this gives you the exit plan. But just because our trade reaches that profit target, it doesn't mean that the momentum is done. For instance, look at this Apple trade on November 26th. So following along with the indicator, anyone could have made a 59% gain in 6 days, which is really, really great. But as my wave indicator showed, there was still a ton of momentum flowing into Apple, which means the share price was still pushing higher. Now, had a trader seen this and decided to hold instead of exiting at the profit target, instead of a 59% gain, they could have made 516% as it just kept on climbing. That would have turned every $1,000 invested into $6,160. Let's take a look at this Roblox trade from September 26th. Works to the downside too. Buying a put and holding until the profit target line would have made a trader 45% and $450 on a 1K stake. But my wave indicator showed that there was still downward momentum. And had a trader held on, by October 8th, they could have been sitting on a 93% gain as Roblox just kept on selling off. They would have more than doubled their return. Instead of $450, they would be sitting on $930 profit. So these are what I call profit override protocols, and they're built into the code itself. Now, this is an indicator. This is not a trading service. So you will have to use your own discretion on when to exit or when to hold on. But we designed the code so that you can make a more informed decision on when you should make a move and why, which means no more chasing trades that have a tiny chance of success, no more thinking twice about when to enter, when to exit, no more trading blind. I think the wave indicator is the #1 secret tool that every trader should have in their back pocket. especially now because we have rising volatility, which is going to make the waves bigger on everything from SPY, QQQ, down to individual tickers themselves, right? Which is why today I want to invite you to start using this indicator for yourself. I've gone ahead and put together a special training program I call Wave Rider, Unlocking the Hidden Power of the Wave Indicator. There's 3 modules to this program. The first one is a beautifully designed report called Wave Indicator Unlocked. This will walk you through exactly what you need to know in order to start using the Wave Indicator immediately. In this in-depth write-up, I'm going to show you how I coded the Wave Indicator, how each code component works together, and how to apply it to any trading or investing cycle. The second component, is the Wave Indicator install guide. So now the Wave Indicator is available for TradingView and Thinkorswim, but you will have to install the code on one of those platforms to use it. I know installing code might sound scary, but the installation guide is going to hold your hand the whole way through on this. It takes just one click to install the indicator and then another click to get it to appear on your charts. It requires no technical know-how whatsoever to install. And if you don't use either platform, you really don't have anything to worry about either, because you can open a free account on tradingview.com. It's really simple. And you can also open a free account on TOS, Thinkorswim, as long as you're not in Canada. But if you are in Canada, you can use TradingView. I also walk you through how to do it in the Wave Indicator install guide too. So the third component is the Wave Indicator Quick Start video. Now, if you prefer to watch rather than read, you're going to like this a lot because I recorded an on-camera walkthrough where I show you how to install the indicator. I break down how the code works, and then I demonstrate how I would use it to trade in real time. I'll even demo how you can use the Wave Indicator to make long-term investment decisions and how to use it to find great day trading setups as well. Once you have the Wave Indicator installed, you can use whatever brokerage you prefer to place your trades. I use Thinkorswim, but you can use Tastytrade, Robinhood, Fidelity, whatever. My point of all this is that even the newest, most inexperienced traders out there watching this can start putting the Wave Indicator to work. You don't have to have any prior experience with coding, trading, or even options. Because in addition to the 3-part Wave Rider program, I'm hosting live Wave Indicator Masterclass sessions for all my members. These are live open Q&A sessions where you can ask me anything about the system so you can make sure you fully understand how the Wave Indicator works. I can even show you how to troubleshoot installation problems if you show up and can't get it working. But I'm not stopping there. I'm also going to send you riding the waves with options. Now, as I've shown you, the power of the Wave Indicator gets magnified when we use it to trade options. And in this handy guide, I will give you a behind-the-scenes look at how I find the right options contracts for this strategy, how I determine the correct expirations, when to cut losses, and how to know when it's time to take our profits and run, or stay in for the profit override protocols and target even more money. So with the full 3-part Wave Rider program, 2 masterclasses, riding the waves with options, I think I'm giving you everything you need to help yourself win. But I'm not just going to cut you loose into the wild and say, go forth and prosper. I don't want to leave you just to figure things out for yourself. I want to make sure you maximize the potential of this indicator because there's new opportunities popping up on it every single day, which is why the next time my indicator spots one, I'm going to go live with an urgent trade room to show you which opportunities I'm about to trade. We'll do these from time to time when I see A+ momentum setups on the Wave Indicator. And I think these live sessions, could be worth at least $1,000 each. Because before launching this indicator to the public, I shared it with my all-access VIP Diamond Club members. And I traded all of these that you see here with my real money. Put my money where my mouth is, and look what we did, right? Roblox, 49% in 8 days. HIMS, 20% in 3 days. AROC, 85% in 2 days. Walmart, 79% in 9 days. Hecla Mining, 39% in 9 days. DocuSign, 93%. This was a put. I remember this one. 93% in 24 hours. Now, I'm going to send you a text, an email, and a Telegram alert before each urgent trade room, so you'll never miss one. I hope to see all of my traders there sharing some of their best stories with me, like this one from Lewis. Made $540 on December 2nd. November 8th, lost 90. The day before that, though, made $250. The week before that, made another $280, and many other winning trades before those. Eric said he's taken 3 trades. All winners up $1,000 in 19 days. Steve made $400 in one trade using the indicator. So when you tally up everything you get today, it's going to put you head and shoulders above a lot of traders out there. But the question you're probably asking is, how much will this thing cost? Well, when you consider what you're getting access to the wave indicator, right? $2,997 value. You're getting the Wave Rider program. You're getting the live wave indicator masterclasses, riding the waves with options, plus the urgent trade rooms. You total up, that's $5,788 worth of goodies. Not only that, though, but if someone had used the indicator over the past 6 months and only traded one of the tickers, Tesla, over 9 trades with a 1K stake in each, their account would be up $4,225 right now. So when you combine just Tesla's profit potential with the total value of everything I'm sending everyone today, the fact that anyone could have captured very similar gains on 27 other tickers over the same period, you get to a total value of at least $10,000, which may be how much it should normally cost. But I'm not actually going to be sending you trade alerts on the regular. Since this indicator is for you to use on your own to find your own great trade setups, since I don't have to spend the time and the bandwidth giving you trade alerts, I'm actually able to slash the price far below what I would normally charge. Really, you'll only have to pay a tiny, infinitesimally small fraction of the total cost today. And here's what's even cooler. I normally charge members a yearly fee for my services, but because this is the wave indicator, right? Because this is an indicator you can use, I'm going to do something I've never done before. Once you unlock it today, you're going to get lifetime access to this puppy, which means that the indicator is yours forever. You'll never have to pay a single cent ever again. That means no subscription fees, no annual renewals, absolutely no recurring charges. Just a lifetime of wave indicator setups. Now, the wave indicator has shown some serious potential. Again, if someone had put $1 grand down into each of the trades during the testing and building and development period, they would have walked away with $25,415 in profit. Winners and losers included on that. But I am going to be coding, and I've already been doing it, continual upgrades and advancements to the algorithm. And I'll be selling each new version of the wave indicator for a very pretty penny. But if you purchase the wave indicator today, you get each new version completely free. You never have to pay for an upgrade, ever. Which means you could save literally thousands of dollars over just the next couple years, on top of all the savings you're going to immediately get today. Now, again, during the testing period, the development period, the average return per trade, including winners and losers, was $540. So here's what I'm going to do. I want anyone using this thing to be able to make back the cost with just one trade, which is why today you don't have to pay $10K to unlock the wave indicator. You don't have to pay $5K, $3K, or even $1,000. I want to make the cost of the wave indicator less than the average return from just a single trade. So you ready to see what that is? $397. A special opening playbook or closing playbook special here. We're doing it for $397.
How much did you make on your last trade, Alex? You said
31% without that's you're looking at basically it would be
$2,500 you just paid for 2 lifetimes.
Yeah, 4 days on the LMT, right?
Nice. So, I love it.
Now, I can't promise future returns are against losses on this, right? But again, your one-time payment could be made back after just one trade, and everything else after that, if you think of it like an investment, everything else after that is just in the black on the accounting books, right? And you get access to the wave indicator forever, plus free updates to all future versions. You get all the live trade rooms just for a one-time payment of $397. So if you do want to get into this thing and start using it, right? Click the link in the chat. I can't see it. I think they dropped it.
There. It's there.
All right, it's there. You can also call us at 904-706-3536. That is the Florida-based customer sales team. They know all about this. They can answer any individualized questions that you may want to ask them over the phone and get you set up and get you rocking and rolling on this. And you're going to get everything for just $397 that you see on the right of the screen. Now, because this is a closing playbook special, this is going up. This price is going up tomorrow. So if you do want to get in on it and get in for a very, very good price, I do recommend doing it today. Today is the day to get the wave.
And by the way, I see here on the order form, usually you have an option like for 1 year at $397. You could get 2 years for $597, but this is lifetime. $397, that ridiculously low number, is for lifetime. So pretty fantastic deal. Alex, thanks for going as low as possible for the closing playbook, folks. I'm sure they much appreciate it.
Absolutely. This is the low. I don't know if we could sell it for any lower because
this is crazy low. And I know something that's in there that you didn't even tell them about. There are several master classes already recorded in the members area for you to watch before the next live master class. So you can actually get the advantage of multiple live classes that have happened already under your belt before that first live master class even happens. And you can be practically a pro when you get there. So that is waiting for you in the members area as well.
Absolutely. Absolutely. You can. And we're also having the next one Wednesday at 1 p.m. So for everyone who wants to come to that one, we're going to be going live, trading this thing, talking about it, answering any questions you have about it.
Next live masterclass Wednesday, 1 p.m. Eastern.
Yes, sir.
All right.
But you do have to get it. So click the link if you want this. Get in. This is the lowest price we've ever offered it, $397, and it's yours. Just a one-time payment for a lifetime of it. Again, you can call us 904-706-3536. And once you get started with this wave indicator, I really don't think there's going to be a reason why you won't be blown away with it. Because, over the course of these last few minutes, I've shown you how powerful it can be. And really, it is one of the cheapest indicators I've ever seen. I'm basically giving it away.
Sure.
To borrow the old catchphrase. But really, though, this is the cheapest indicator I've ever seen. I use this every day to trade in my own accounts. And once you're in, you're going to see all the folks in the Telegram who have been making money with it too. I'm actually going to show you some of them right now because the minute you start using it, it really could have you getting some big huge wins, like a 38% gain on Amazon in just 2 weeks, maybe the 65% gain on Oracle in 14 days, and this 136% gain on 4 in just 48 hours. So I really think that if you're interested in this, you really should jump on this and grab the wave indicator right now because the price is going up tomorrow. We are going to raise, and that's real. We actually are raising the price. It will not be $397. So get it now.
Yeah, I see that nice big beautiful red banner on there, counting down your time, so you know how much time you have.
Absolutely, it should be math 7 hours and 20 minutes.
Well, I think they did it. I think they did midnight Pacific time, so they got an extra 3 hours worked in there.
Even more benefits for you, ladies and gentlemen.
Right.
We're not even doing EST.
It's like cheating. It's like
someone in California decided to put the
it's like overnight trading. Those extra 3 hours. We've got a couple of questions in the chat for you, Alex. So, well, first of all, thanks for doing this presentation and for bringing this to the closing playbook crowd. I know it's awesome. We had several people in the chat already saying they love the wave indicator and it rocks. So a couple testimonials for you in the chat already. Yeah. And then, the price that you brought it down to is ridiculous, but we appreciate it. So a couple of questions here. One is, once it shows you that indication, what are they actually buying? As far as what are they trading? Are they trading stocks? Are they buying calls?
So the cool thing about this, you can use this to trade stocks. If you want to use this for buy and hold, right? If you're thinking, okay, this stock, if I'm long a stock, the stock has gone, say, let's just use Facebook as an example, or Meta, right? Meta's, let's say we go back to 2023, Meta is down and it's bottoming, but you don't know if it's going to keep on dropping or you should enter now. I'll tell you, because I've done this through multiple demonstrations, you would have seen exactly when Meta began its upswing, when it turned bearish to bullish and just started skyrocketing back a couple of years ago. So that's on the monthly chart. You can use this for the weekly. I'm going to show you some testimonials in a second because it gets even better when you see how real people are using this to make a ton of trades and to really high success. We have people who are scalping 1 minute, 3 minute options. You'll see Russ has been crushing it on the daily charts. We do it. I use it really. I'll use it as a combo, for intraday as well. I'll use it on the intraday, but I use it more for swing trading. So we just closed out a 31% winner on LMT, Lockheed Martin, and it took about 4 days, I believe. So swing trading, right? I think we were in earlier in the week, and we were obviously out this morning, 31%. It popped, but the wave indicator showed me that it was popping, and that's why we followed the trade. We followed it, and it worked out for us.
Yeah, that's really cool. It's one of a few, maybe the only one I can think of off the top of my head that covers day trading, swing trading, and long-term trading, all with the same thing. And of course, you go over how to do each of those things, different ways they can take these trades in all the training.
And it gives you everything you need. You, like I said, yeah, exactly, perfectly said. You can trade the underlying. You just buy Meta when showing call. When Meta's been selling off, all of a sudden you get a call signal print that means Meta's, likely means Meta is going up. You buy the shares of Meta, whatever it is. But if you do want to trade the options, right, it gives you the options profit target line. It tells you the exact those dotted lines, right? The white ones for the calls, the yellow for the puts. You just buy those. So if its stock is at $90, the line is at 100. It's a call signal. You buy the $100 30-day out option, and again we crunch through the numbers to make a statistically probable price outcome based on the momentum breakout, because it's all
yeah. So on the option side, because I think people, you've said that a couple of times, but just to try to simplify it all the way down, guys, when you look at, okay, it's breaking out, what option am I actually buying? He means that literally. You would go, okay, it's a call. What expiration date? Okay, whatever's closest to 30 days from right now today. The DTEs are listed in any option chain. And then what strike? Okay, literally the closest strike to where that line is. So when you build an option, you need to know, the ticker, call or put, the time, and the strike price. Well, that's literally all baked in there. Now, Alex, one of the questions I had that kind of popped up. So obviously, this is an indicator you could use as a strategy unto itself, but I assume you could also use it kind of like your example and as a combination. So even you could use it, if I say on an opening playbook, hey, I really like, Microsoft to make new highs over the next 2 weeks, seasonally it's good, whatever. They could also just pull it up and say, okay, I like the Microsoft pick that Nate gave, but I'm going to use the wave indicator to actually pick my entry and my options.
Absolutely. Yeah. And I recommend, look, this is an indicator. I like this. I use volume profiles with this. I use just regular volume with this. I'll graph and chart some, support and resistance lines with this. This is a tool to add to your arsenal. Now, a lot of times, right, it gives you everything you need. But I always recommend, look, you don't have to combine it with like MACD, RSI. Like, I don't do that, but look at volume. Combine it with volume. This gives you a more holistic picture of like what a stock is doing. You have a thesis. You want to confirm that the momentum, again, because everything is momentum, right? You have a thesis. You need to double check that the momentum is aligned with your thesis, and momentum can work to the downside or the upside, right? So just figure it out, and the wave indicator shows you which one, if you're right, and which way that the momentum is heading.
And for those of you that are newer and some of that was Greek, that's fine. It's all in the training. You've got hours worth of material to go over and watch as many times as you need to really get it and understand it. And Alex shows you on the screen what he's talking about instead of just having a conversation about it. It's on the screen. It's on the chart. It's here's what we're looking at. Here's what we see. So it's all explained in a lot of detail.
And there's something else that we're doing today. I want to answer. We're going to answer all the questions. Don't worry. But I do want to show you guys. This is really cool, and I think you might like it. I'm going to answer just a few common questions. Again, just trust me. You're gonna like this. All right. What's coming up? So again, TradingView or Thinkorswim. That's what you need. One of those two platforms to trade this. I show you how to do it with the wave indicator install guide. Again, if you're a beginner, right, it's not hard to get started. Again, it does the heavy lifting for you. It tells you when to buy a call or a put, which strike price to buy, and when to exit. Question number 3, do I just buy and sell when the wave indicator gives me a signal? Yes, it does the heavy lifting of isolating only the highest momentum setups. You look at it, you decide if the trade is right for you, and if it is, everything looks good, you can enter it, right? Trade small lots, even paper trade, if you want to get a feel for how it works first. And again, this can be used on whatever your time constraints are. If you stare at your computer all day and you're a very active trader, use it on the intraday. Use it on SPY, QQQ, IWM, the indices, individual tickers. It works on all of them, 1 minute, 3 minute, 5 minute charts. But it's also a swing trading tool. So if you just want to do a trade on your lunch break, come back the next lunch break, next day, you can do that. You don't have to use it to be, or even buy and sell for a couple months, buy and hold for a couple months. I mean, you can use you can use the wave indicator for that too. And you can even use it on your phone as long as you have TradingView or Thinkorswim installed, the apps. Now this is important. Am I giving you trade alerts with this? I am not. That's why I'm able to offer this at such an affordable price, because I don't have to spend the time, I don't have to spend the bandwidth to give you any trade alerts. This is an indicator. You plug it in and you can start figuring out trades, using it to figure out trades for yourself. Now, I do a ton of training, and I've already done a ton of training in the past. We have a whole library of training content in the members portal for you. But also, we're going to be always doing more. So the next training, the next live training is Wednesday at 1 p.m. So definitely be there or be square. Trade length, average of 4 to 8 days. This LMT trade, Lockheed Martin was about 4 days. They're not super long, and we only take the 30-day out option, so they're always going to be less than 30 days. And if you ever have any question, call us at 904-607-0420, Monday through Friday, 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. And our customer support team, Rockstar customer support team, can help you 24/7 via email. And you're also going to get a free pass to customer support live when you join today. No other company does this. It's really awesome. They're so great. They live stream Monday through Saturday now. They just added another day, 10 a.m. to 1 p.m. So you just log onto that Zoom room, and the customer success team staff can help answer any questions you have. And sometimes, myself and other gurus log on so we can answer your questions directly. Now, is there any sort of guarantee to this? Yeah, there is, because I want to make sure you're 100% satisfied. So I want you to try out the wave indicator for 7 days, right? If it doesn't help you find better setups or make better entry and exit decisions, you can get 100% of your money back. Easy peasy. But I'm really not worried about this because I know that you're going to love it. I have been using it to trade with my own money, right? Just made the element trade 31% this week, right? And not just me, but my members have been crushing it with the wave indicator too. Look at these testimonials. Nathan said it's been working great so far. My man Russ has been one of my most successful traders. He is a star in his own right, and he's just using the wave indicator to magnify his greatness. But he traded
his greatness.
He traded SPY one day, right? Just a perfect wave setup, up and then down, made 350%. Kamar is actually using it to scalp. 3 days out, he joined, and 3 days later he wrote to us. He said he made 47% on day one, 34% today, trading 1 minute SPY. Jonathan's up on KWEB. Mark loves it. Russ again, 2 winners in 1 day, 250% on Apple, 128% on McDonald's. Steve made $400 in one trade. Russ again, 45% in 17 minutes using this. And that's what I'm saying. Because look, I don't want to. If you buy an option and you sit around and wait for price to chop sideways, you're losing money to time decay, which is another reason. If I haven't emphasized it enough, this thing is so cool. It shows you stocks that are about to pop, either down or up. It doesn't always happen, but it does. It does give you good signals on when that's going to happen. So you're not in trades losing out money to time decay, right? You're in them when they're moving. So we get into stocks when they are moving. That's why Russ picked up 45% in 17 minutes. And I remember this one from CJ. He got a huge winner, nice $400 win on QQQ during one of our live trading sessions. So maybe that could be you next time. But to do it, you got to join. You got to at least click the link in the chat and get the wave indicator for yourself. Start uploading it, connecting it to your trading portal, and getting started with this. 904-706-3536. Now, this is the important part. After you join, read the next page very carefully, because you also have the chance. We're doing something cool today. You have an exclusive upgrade opportunity that could accelerate the success you have with the wave indicator. But this offer is only available to the first 100 people who take it today. But if you want to instantly unlock a steady stream of wave indicator trade setups delivered straight to you, so you don't have to do the work, you don't have to do the scanning, you don't have to do the work yourself, right? You want them delivered straight to you starting today. Well, this is what you're going to love about this upgrade. Well, the question is, why will you love this upgrade? Because the people who took it, right? The people who took the trading alert service, I send out hand-vetted trades that I've used the wave indicator to find, that I trade with my own money. I send them out to you. And the folks who took that upgrade and got into that group, they had a chance to close out a 47% gain on Peloton and a 103% gain on Iron, which 1,000 into each of those two trades would have paid out $1,500 profit in just 24 hours. Not just that, but so far we closed out 20 winning trades and just 5 losers. Members could have made $16,557, including a 21% gain on Run, 30% win. These are all real trade alerts. You can see them in the Telegram. A 30% winner on CVS, 52% winner on Shop, and we just closed out a 31% winner on Lockheed Martin today. So, but don't worry, those were great trades, but there's new ones. There are new trades coming. And if you want the exact option trade details, including the strikes, including the expiration dates, be sure to grab that upgrade. But you have to get the regular wave indicator first if you want to be eligible for that. So click the link in the chat, call us at 904-706-3536, or type in wealthpin.com/wave into your browser bar if you just love typing.
Awesome. Great stuff. And that extra add-on for the trader to get the exact option criteria and all that is a really cool add-on. Thanks for that. Nathan had to bounce, so we're gonna have to carry the ship from here. But I had a couple questions from traders that are in here in the chat. One of them, and I'll have to answer this for Nathan. One of them wanted to know if what you do in the wave indicator is part of what Nathan does in his income machine program. So what Nathan has in his income machine program is actually 5 different criteria that he looks at when his income machine is selecting trades. Momentum is one of them, but it's kind of like a piece of what Alex is doing here, not the whole thing. So he's looking at weekly momentum, and what Alex is doing here is looking at a whole lot of different aspects of momentum beyond that as well. So Alex's indicator is a little more, well-rounded on the momentum side, where Nathan's is combining a piece of the momentum outlook with other factors as well. So, one's a little more varied, one's a little more focused. So they go really well together to reinforce how likely a trade is to happen. So if you find a trade on Nate's income machine, and let's say it has 3 out of 5 or 4 out of 5, green check marks, criteria met, and then you flip over to Alex's indicator and you see that he's got a strong signal from the indicator that it's a good time to get into that, that's just reinforcement that it's a good idea. And that might make you decide to take the trade instead of not take it, or maybe buy more of it instead of less of it, or what have you. And you could do it the other way as well. You could find something in Alex's indicator, and then if you have the VIP version of Nate's income machine, you have the ability to go over there and type in any ticker you want into the income machine and get its analysis also. And so if they both give you green lights, you can feel more confident about getting into that trade.
Yeah, no, perfectly said. I recommend Nate's program is great. I love his stuff. I read it every day. Like, this is just, you stack confirmation signals on top of confirmation signals.
Yeah, I mean, nothing's guaranteed, but the more confirmations you have, the better you can feel about it. Chris asked if there's if you can use the wave indicator on like ETF options like SPX and XSP.
Bro, my man Russ has been crushing it on SPY. I mean, I didn't even have this in it. His testimonial, he made $30K on SPY in one day using the wave indicator.
Wow.
Yeah. So yeah,
it's like 10x the cost of the program today.
Right. Yeah. So okay, he paid $397 and then turned it into $30K. Now that's an exceptional result. I'm not saying that's going to happen to everybody who buys.
Yeah, of course.
But of course, if you do have the same success as Russ, well,
Yeah.
But so the thing is, you can use this on. I've heard from people who use this for crypto. I don't trade it on crypto, but people do to success. We've had successful people trading this on crypto, ETFs. That's SPY, QQQ, IWM. You can trade it on, there's Soxl, SOXL, if you want. you can trade this on if you. So yesterday we were talking, but we had someone say right in. He said that basically he bought this yesterday. Before I even finished talking about it, he used it to make like $100 on MES. That's futures. For those who don't know, he used it for a futures trade. So you can use this for literally, because again, if you go back to what I said, right, remove everything, every conception or indicator you have about trading. You go to the most root kernel of what it is, what stocks, what a chart is. It's momentum. Now, if something has a price and it's moving, it has momentum. That's why the wave indicator is so cool, because everything you're going to trade, whether it's ETFs, crypto, gold, futures, it all has momentum, and that's by isolating the momentum and mapping it, right? The wave indicator is able to give you good trade setups. So it does, whatever you want to trade it with, go ahead.
There were a couple of questions about how to decide, which tickers to use it on. And obviously that's going to vary tremendously. And you were just talking about all the different ways it could possibly be used. If somebody's coming into this, obviously with other programs, they can use this for confirmation. But if absent of other programs giving them trade ideas, should they just start with the Mag 7, or like how do you normally tell like a new trader to start using this? Where do they look in the wide spectrum of stocks?
Yeah, so here's what I recommend. So I don't give you a scanner with this. Now I will tell you, for the people who take the upgrade, for the trade alert upgrade where you get trade alerts, I am working on a sort of a tailored scanner for this for you. It's on my queue. I code everything myself that I create. I program it myself with the help of AI, but I still do it myself. And so I have basically my unusual options flow app is in the queue. That's the first thing I'm working on right now, because I already have done multiple upgrades to Wave, and I've gotten Wave Indicator to a very good place. You're going to get the latest version when you join. It's the most responsive in terms of entry signals, and gives you a lot. Honestly, you're getting in at a good time. The first version, we missed out on some entry signals, and I was like, man, I want it to be more responsive and tell me sooner. Well, this version does that. It's like version 3. This does that, and it works on TOS or TradingView. So I did a lot of coding to get this to a good point where I was really happy with it when I launched. Now I'm really happy with it. Now this unusual flow scanner, I gotta make people. We're crushing it in the Telegram with it. People love it. I want to get this to them. Once I build that, I'm going to be working on the scanner for this. My upgraded members will get that. Otherwise, I just recommend going through, looking at, if you come to the training on Wednesday, we'll talk about some of the criteria I use for scanning every day. This is just what I use, and that you can use, and I'll give you the TradingView criteria. This is not going to be the ultimate scanner. Those will be the basic trade scanner you can use to sort of isolate, potential movement, potential good stocks to trade with the wave indicator. Otherwise, though, you just got to figure out a scanner that works for you. What do you like trading? Do you like trading, small caps, large caps, whatever scanner you already used, you can just apply this to it. You can apply the wave indicator to it. And look, if you're an income person, if you like selling income, you like selling credit spreads, right? Guess what, folks? You still got to know momentum. You don't want to sell a credit spread if Apple's trading at 220 and it has a lot of upward momentum, and you sell a 220, 225 bear call spread. That's not going to work out for you, right? Apple's going to blow through those strikes, and you're going to get max loss. So this is not, whatever you like to trade, you still are going to have to understand which way momentum's going, and this is what can help you do that. So this is a tool. You use it to gain knowledge, and you apply that knowledge to any trading approach you want, selling credit spreads, buying options, whatever.
Yeah, and even if you're taking trades like some of Nathan and Graham's trades where they're, like what Nathan calls two-way options, where he's doing like the 4-leg spread that we did earlier, where it's you're covered a little bit to the upside and a little bit to the downside. You still want to look at momentum, and you still want to know, is it going to be a small move or is it going to be a huge move? And do I need to bet on it being inside the box, or do I need to bet it being outside the box? Are we going to have, moves to the extreme, or are we going to stay close to the current, midline? So momentum helps you really, no matter how you're doing it, even if you're trying to cover yourself on both sides, it's useful.
Absolutely.
Now, a few people have asked about, like cost of the trades and what kind of permissions they need, and about assignment. All those things are going to be kind of up to you, folks, because it really depends on how you want to trade this. The indicator is going to tell you, hey, there's a really good likelihood that this stock is going to move up in the very near future, or very likely it's going to move down in the very near future. Now, you have to then take the training that Alex gives you in all of the recordings and the live classes to say, okay, I'm going to buy the stock, or I'm going to buy a call on the stock, or I'm going to buy a put on the stock, or I'm going to buy a spread. You can determine that. And depending upon how you do that is going to determine, and of course, which ticker you're looking at. You could be looking at an expensive stock that might have a cheap option, or you could be looking at, a stock that doesn't, and you wind up buying the stock and it costs you a lot of money per share. It could go a million different ways. So it's really hard to answer, like, what are the costs of these trades? Because it's really up to you what you're watching, what you're looking at.
Absolutely. And the perfect example is so with all my services, I with all my services, I make sure the most newbie, inexperienced traders can do them. I also make sure that if people who are more experienced, have more capital, can,
Leverage
do what they want to. They can. So, for instance, this Lockheed Martin trade. Lockheed Martin has pretty expensive options. I knew I send out, people with small accounts, they would be hard to afford it, right? It was like $500. So what do? We did a debit spread this time. Now we do regular calls and puts, but this time we did a debit spread. I loved this setup. I actually went long on the stock, the underlying stock, just because I loved the setup so much that Lockheed Martin was showing. We did debit spread though. We got in for it was like $120, and we've had. So I think that's a pretty affordable options contract, pretty affordable trade for people, right? Yeah. And like everything was aligned, right? I mean, this was honestly, it was an amazing trade. There was so much good stuff happening with it. It's the most sold off defense stock. Is just a really good setup. But we took it. But even small account traders could have traded LMT and Lockheed and gotten a good gain on it, right? And then we've had regular options calls. Sometimes, if we're trading a bigger company or some smaller company, rather, if we're trading a smaller company, they're cheap, like $80, 80 bucks. I'm not going to trade $500 options. Like, I don't want to. I don't know if you like doing it, Dave. I don't like trading $500. I'd rather do more contracts for a cheaper dollar, and just because I just think it's why spend $500 when there's so many good trades out there that are like so much like 90,
I also think it tends to affect, like the volume and all that. There's not that as many people can buy and sell those, right? So they might be harder to get rid of. And also, you don't have that you can't dial in exactly what you want to spend, because each contract is so much. So it's like, or each share is so much. It's better to have 100 shares of something small. I think I agree with you. Maya, I don't know that we directly answered your question. Some of your questions had to do with assignment and stuff. We talked about that, but when it comes to the day trading pattern rules, or pattern day trading rules, again, going to totally be up to how you trade it. If you're going to look at, but really, we're pretty much avoiding that with most of these, because most of these are not going to hit in hours, right? If you get that signal from the indicator and it's not a 3-day-old signal, right? If you get that signal today, very unlikely it's going to make that move to the target it's indicating today. So it's not likely going to cause you to be in a day trade. But again, it's going to be a lot on how you do it. If you set a tiny target and it hits that, then you might get out today and it might be a day trade. It's really up to you guys.
It's absolutely up to you. I don't know. We haven't closed out a single in the alert service. We haven't closed out a single like intraday trade. I mean, we have people using the wave indicator to trade the 3-minute chart on SPY and do day trading. That's cool if you want to do that. But again, the service, if you do take that upgrade, they're always tailored to the newest, most small account traders. So everybody, because if a small account trader can do it, someone with more capital and a larger account can do it too, right?
Right. Here's a question I don't know the answer to. So, are the versions that are out for TOS and TradingView the same versions?
Yes.
Okay. Alrighty. So yeah. So Bert, it doesn't really matter which one you're using. It's going to be the same version of the indicator. Let's see what. Oh well, this isn't so much a question, but LKJ says Alex is a genius. Best program ever was his butterfly spreads with a 240% average return.
Who's doing that? Jason?
LKJ. I don't know the name. LKJ.
Heck yeah.
There you go. Yeah. So certainly, to answer your question, Don, certainly you can, if you only have level 1 options, you can take plenty of advantage of this because you can just either buy the stock or buy calls or puts, simple calls or puts. This is directional in nature, right? So as opposed to, well, I guess some of Nathan's spreads are directional also, but these aren't like two-way trades where you're trying to cover both sides and it has to really be a spread to do that. This is directional, so it's telling you, hey, it's really likely to go up in the very near future or very likely to go down in the very near future. So you can just buy a call if it's pointing up, buy a put if it's pointing down, or once you get a little more sophisticated and have higher permissions, if you choose to do that, then you can start trading spreads. But you really don't have to. It's you can certainly do it with level 1 options, and you can do it with no options. You can do it with stocks. So there are really no restrictions on this.
Absolutely. Like, let me show you. So this is let me just show you this real quick. This is the LMT trade. Now you'll notice a call. So we actually were early on this trade. I will say we were early on this trade. I saw this. I was like, just based on, I mean, if you look at how LMT is cycling down from all-time highs.
Yeah.
It's all the other defense companies are like at all-time highs. Not this one, right? Not this one. This one's been sold off hard. So I saw this recovery, and I said, you can look if you join the Wave Trader Alert service, you'll literally see this. I say it hasn't shown up on the wave indicator yet, but it's going to. I just knew it. I knew it was, and it did today. And we actually entered like back here, and when it popped today, that's when we got out. But if you see this, and I told you I'd give you a free trade for joining me on this today, and LMT is still there. So if you wanted to buy, it's going to be expensive. You could buy the 474, 475 options and ride it up to here, 30 days out. So October, sometime in October, depending on when the strikes expirations are, you could do that. But again, like I said, not only did I take the debit spread on Lockheed, I went long the shares. And so this for me is just confirmation that long is going to pay off. I'm still long the shares. And this only corroborates my viewpoint that we have a call right now. So really, yeah, maybe you missed that first tier, that first tranche of the Lockheed trade, but I think there's still a really good one in the works. And if you wanted to even cheapen it up, you could do a 465, 460 debit spread. Right now it closed at 463. So you could do a 465, 460 debit spread, and you would basically just need it to jump not even to its 200-day moving average, which if you remember, I talked about these moving averages, right? The 200-day as a profit target. You don't even need it to hit. If it hit this, you're at 100% gain. All you would need to do is for it to just go to 466 and 467. You'd be sitting on about a 50% gain just from the 465, 460 call debit spread. If you wanted to do it cheap, probably get in for, see if you can get in for, 220, 250 or less.
I'm going to type that out for everybody in the chat. So LMT, we're selling the 465. I'm saying October 3rd call.
Do October 17th because you'll get you'll get better on LMT in particular. You'll get better volume on the monthly.
All right, so we're selling the 465 call. We're buying the 460 call for a 250 debit or less.
Yeah.
And we're targeting what would you set your target at for that? Do you think
you can set it? You can set it for 25%, and then reevaluate. But when you have a 25% gain on a debit spread, that's pretty dang good.
Yeah, for sure. All right, cool. That's in the group chat for everybody in there. Awesome. Let's see what other questions. Do you typically use stops in case it's going the wrong way?
I don't use like automated stops, but we do. If so, the cool thing, if it's momentum, since it's momentum and we're banking on relatively fast breakouts, if it moves the opposite way, all of a sudden it's going to take a lot longer for that to happen, right? So the momentum has shifted, and we'll get out. I don't have hard and fast stops though, because I don't really do those with options ever.
Gotcha. Yes, this is being recorded. The replay will be available about an hour or two after we stop at the link in the announcements underneath the presentation, the NMC-replays. You'll be able to see the whole closing playbook, including this part as well, a couple hours after we finish up here, which will be in just a couple of minutes here, because we're running pretty long. I don't want to keep Alex too long from his family. Let's see if we have any other questions going here.
Answer some last minute ones. Yeah, whatever we got.
All right. I mean, more people calling you a genius. You probably don't want to hear any more of those. Let's see.
Yeah, I get bored of hearing that after a while.
Yeah. I mean, you probably don't hear it at home as much as you hear it here. Actually, I was laughing to myself earlier because you were talking about one of your all-star, students or members, and I was thinking to myself, you talk better about your members than I talk about Nathan. But I didn't have a chance to say it while I was here, so it's not as fun.
Yeah.
Let's see.
I wish my wife would call me a genius more.
Your wife did?
I wish my wife would call me a genius more.
Yeah. I hear you. All right. Well, keep telling your kids, they're nice and young. Maybe you can kind of instill it in them. They'll still believe it.
Yeah, your daddy's a genius.
All right. I think that is all we have. Yeah. So the special will run till midnight Pacific time, which is 3 a.m. Eastern time. So you have about 10 hours, a little less than 10 hours. So if you do want to watch the replay in an hour or two before you make your decision, but quite honestly, folks, it's $397. I know that's a good amount of money for some people, not so much for other people. It is the cheapest thing you're going to find that can give you the power that this thing can give you, and all the education that comes with it, and live classes with Alex where you can ask him questions like we're doing right now, multiple times again in the future after taking the training. So there's a lot for the money here, a lot for sure. Let's see.
Absolutely. I love this thing. I use it every day with my own money. So I think you'll like it too.
Yeah. So like another variation of the question, but there's no difference really between using it in TradingView and using it in Thinkorswim, right? You're getting the same stuff either way.
Yeah, you're getting the same stuff. I would recommend TradingView. I think they have better charts, but it's whatever you want to do. It's up to you.
Yeah. So Chris was saying that what he likes to do is have kind of not an actual order in for a stop, but he likes to kind of have a mental stop out where he knows if it goes past a certain point, it's probably not doing what it was expected.
20%. If you look at like our win rate versus it's 20 to 25 is probably get out then. That's what we usually aim for anyways.
All right, cool. Yeah, I think that's all we got. So we're going to go ahead and close this out in a minute or two, folks. Alex, thanks so much for being here and spending so much time with us and bringing this tremendous discount to our group.
Yeah, man.
Appreciate it.
It's always good hanging out with you.
Yeah, you too. It's been a minute since I've seen you, man.
I know. You look good.
You got the new house and everything, right?
A new co-working space.
Yeah. Nice. All right, man. Yeah.
Good talking. Yeah. Everybody, thank you so much. All my new members. We had a ton of people join. Don't be left out of the crowd, man. Join. Get in on the cool kids.
For a few $100, you get a tool that will either point you onto new trades or help you confirm trades you might be unsure about, and give you just like not just another tool in your toolbox, but also kind of another way of thinking about it. Because I know if you're trading with Nate and Graham, they talk about volume, they talk about momentum, they talk about price action, they talk about a lot of these things, but they really tend to dial in on just the math of it. And what we get here is an interesting use of the math that goes into the algorithms that plots the lines. But what we're really looking at is the momentum of the movement of the stock, and not really just kind of what's the value of the option spread compared to the potential return. It's a different way of doing math. It's a different thing we're looking at. And, you can use it on its own. You can use it as an adjunct. So it's really pretty cool. And Alex has made it as affordable as humanly possible for everybody here. So we appreciate that, man. All right, cool. Thanks very much. We'll see you soon.
Thank you. See you.
All right, bye-bye. All right, folks. That's all I have. I think that is everybody's. Alan asked about how much for the alert service. So the alert service is, I have that information here. One moment. The alert service is $9.97 for 1 year, and then only another $4.97 to upgrade it to lifetime. So $3.97 for the wave indicator, $9.97 for the alert service, and another for 1 year of the alert service, and another $4.97 for lifetime of the alert service. So if you want to have a lifetime of both, and my math is correct, you're looking at $1,900 minus a few. So just shy of $1,900, you get the indicator for life and the alert service for life. And what's cool about having both is that on days where you don't have the time to use the indicator and find your own trades, you've got alerts coming to you. And if you're kind of new to it, you're not confident about using the indicator, by getting the alerts and seeing how those alerts look. So you get the alert, you look it up in your own indicator, you see what Alex is seeing, and then you decide take the trade, don't take the trade. But you learn through example in real time how to use it. So of course he's going to teach you through many examples in the training, but it's different to get a real life example where he says, hey, it looks like this is going to trigger in a few minutes. You could already literally have it up in, because he gives these warnings a lot. He's got these premonitions because he's been doing this for so long, and he uses this tool day in and day out. He gets these premonitions, and he'll say, hey, I'm looking at, Amazon or whatever. Looks like it might pop soon. You can pull that up in the indicator, in your platform, and with the indicator on there, and you can see what he's seeing, and you can see, hey, do I realize that it triggered when he sent me the alert? Would I have realized it on my own? Do I see what he's seeing? And then, you can always email him questions. He answers questions every day, and stuff like that. So, uh, Alan's asking how many alerts come out per month. I believe the answer to that is a couple a week. Let me look at that. I'm not 100% sure. I believe it's a couple a week, but don't quote me on that, because what I have in front of me is really the information on the indicator and not the total details on the wave trader. Let me see if I can find it here real quick. Yeah, I don't want to take too much time, and I don't have it like at my fingertips. So I think it's a couple a week, but I'm not 100% sure. And is this Alex's premium service, or does he have others? Well, it's both. So the indicator is kind of a medium entry, premium service. The Wave Trader is definitely one of his premium services, where it's $1,000 to get in. You're getting weekly trade alerts from him, but he does have other services as well. So if you want to see what other services he has, let me look it up real quick. I believe the wealthpin.com website is going to be your best place to go. Yeah, so if you go to, I'll type it in the general chat. If you want to see what else Alex has to offer, you can go to wealthpin.com and click on, whoops, I typoed .com, and click on, it says products at the top, but the URL is actually research. So I'll give you the URL straight to the research page. That's going to show you his bargain bin trader, calendar club, insider intelligence, lazy traders club, which I love because it's so low effort and is really fun to trade. That's my favorite service of his. But everybody, I'm not saying it's the right one for everybody. Everybody's got different, things they want out of a service. I happen to like the Lazy Traders Club. I don't know what that says about me, but Project X-Ray, he's got a round trip club. He's got the wave indicator. He's got WealthPin Pro, which I'd say his WealthPin Pro is probably his most premier service. So you can get all the details on all of that stuff on wealthpin.com, either wealthpin.com/research, or just click products at the top. All right, let's see what else. So, yeah, I think we covered everything. All right, folks. Well, listen, I appreciate all of you sticking around until the end of this long presentation and discussion. I appreciate all of the participation in the chat. We don't take for granted everybody who participates in the chat. It's really great not only having the questions so that we know what you're thinking, what you need to know from this. So the next time we present it, we know what we need to cover. We want to make sure that you have the answers to your questions, even if they're not common questions and they're one-off questions. We want to make sure you have the answers so that you are equipped with whatever knowledge you need to make a decision about whether this program is appropriate for you. Not every program is appropriate for every person. Like that's the only guarantee, is that it's not going to be appropriate for everybody. There's no guarantee that any one program is going to be appropriate for you. You can always call the phone number that is in the chat and in the announcements there, to speak to our sales team to say, hey, I just saw a presentation from Alex. I really like what he was talking about, but I'm not sure if this is the best program of his 10 programs for me. Can you review his programs? And our sales team is experienced at asking you a handful of questions to say, okay, what size account do you have? How aggressive do you want to be in your trading? How often do you want to be trading? Are there certain times a day that you trade? Are you on all day? They'll ask you these questions to then help determine what's right for you, because somebody who wants to only trade 10 minutes every morning is going to want a different program than somebody who wants to spend all day watching the market and getting in as many trades as possible for their budget. So everybody's different. There's no one best program. Even if one program has made more money than any other program, that doesn't mean it's best for you, because that may not be appropriate for you, for your schedule, for your budget, for your trading account size, for the complexity of the trades. So there's no one right fit for everybody. So that is what we do. Let's see. Mac, I'm sorry. We got a lot of messages in here, and I apologize if I let you down. I confirmed with him several times that the versions in both, whether they have the same number or not, the versions in both are the same version. I think that it came out for TradingView first, and then version 2 of TradingView was basically version 1 in TOS. So I think that's the reason that they have different numbers. I'm not 100% sure, but they are the same. The current versions of them have the same features and functionality. And I thought I covered that, but I'm sorry if for some reason that's not exactly what you were asking. I don't like letting my viewers down. But he did confirm several times that it does not matter which one you're in, you're getting the same indicator. All right. On that note, we are going to close this out. Again, thanks for being here. Thanks for sticking around to the end. Good luck in your trading. And we will be back Monday morning, since it is Friday. We will not be here tomorrow. We'll be back Monday morning, 10 a.m. with Closing Playbook. However, don't forget, there's a special event Sunday night. Look in any of your members' areas. There's a special event Sunday night where Graham's going to be revealing some really cool new special stuff. Nathan will be there as well, but I think it's going to be Graham's turn to shine, as opposed to the last time we did a Sunday event. So 7 p.m. Eastern time this Sunday, 2 days from now, basically 2 days and 90 minutes from now, we will be live again. So look out for that in your members area. Look for the alerts on Telegram telling you that it's starting soon, all that kind of stuff. All right. Have a great weekend. We'll see you next week.